your maid fetch me when you're ready to come below," Greer was saying with exasperation as he approached the table. "I am with child, no cripple, husband," Said grumbled with irritation. "I am perfectly capable of walking without help." "Mayhap, but I cannot bear to watch it," Greer growled, setting her in the chair next to his with a care not presently notable in his voice. "Every time you sat down, I fear you tip forward and roll down like a—" Greer's words died on an apologetic grimace as he noted Sade's stiff expression. "I just worry," he ended lamely, and then offered a conciliatory smile and said, "I'll let cook ken you're below and ready to break your fast." "Thank you, husband," Sade murmured, smiling when he bent to press a kiss to her forehead before moving off. She watched him cross the great hall for the kitchens, her face soft with affection and appreciation, both of which were definitely absent when she turned back to her brothers. Her gaze slid over their gaping expressions, and then she gave a little huff of disgust and snapped. "Well, are you not pleased to see me?" Niels raised his eyebrows at the grumpy question and let his eyes drift to settle on her overlarge stomach. "Aye? We are all a little surprised that there's so much to see." "You look ready to burst," Alex said with awe. "I thought you were only 4 months along." "I am," she muttered unhappily, one hand rising to rub across her protruding belly. "I think I may be carrying 2 bairns." "I'm thinking 6, Geordie said, and promptly received a hard kick from their sister for his trouble. Niels bit back a laugh and turned to Rory, eyebrows raised. "Should she be this big already?" Rory snapped his mouth closed and stood to move to Sade's side. Placing a hand at her elbow, he tried to urge her to her feet. "We should retire above for a few moments." "Above stairs?" Sade asked with a scowl, and then shook her head and jerked her arm free of his hold. "Nay, I just got below. Besides, I'm hungry and—" "And I need to examine ye," Rory countered firmly. "You can eat after." "Or," she suggested just as firmly, "you could examine me after I've eaten." "Or I could examine you right in front of everyone," he said in a tone of good cheer that didn't soften the threat. Sade's eyes narrowed, and her hand moved to the skein dube at her waist. "Try it, and I'll skewer ye where you stand." "Sade," Rory complained with exasperation, and then, heaving out a breath, tried reason. "You're much larger than you should be at this stage in the game, lass. It can be dangerous. I need to listen to your heartbeat and see that it's no under strain." "I also wish to—" "I'm fine," she said grimly, and when he opened his mouth to argue further, added, "But I'll make a deal with you." "What's that?" Rory asked, and Niels couldn't help noticing his brother was suddenly wary. He would have been himself. One never knew what would come out of their sister's mouth. "Promise to accompany me to check on Edith, and I'll let you examine me," Sade said firmly. Rory scowled. "Sade, you cannot seriously be thinking to ride a horse in your shape, you—" "Fine, then I do not need examining." Sade waved away his diatribe and turned to face the table. Niels lowered his head to hide his amusement as Rory cursed, but then his brother heaved out a breath. "Fine. If you let me examine ye, I'll see what I can do for your friend Edith," he said shortly. "Now, will you please let me examine you, and be sure all is well?" Sade relaxed and even smiled faintly, but then she grimaced and said, "Aye, but give me a minute to rest at least. 'Twas a tiring bit of business getting below." That last part was admitted almost shamefully, which told them that it was true. Sade disliked showing weakness. "I shall carry you up," Rory offered gently. She blinked at the very suggestion and began to laugh, but it died quickly as Sade looked Rory over. Eyes widening slightly, she took in their previously lithe brother and said, "You've put on weight, and your arms have muscle." "Aye?" Niels grinned at her comment. "He's been working out in the practice yard with the rest of—"